Do you have any words since we haven't been here in a while?
Oh, we're actually already recording?
Yeah.
Dragon Con was pretty legit.
Did you meet any dragons?
Yes.
Okay. And you saw Spiral, right?
I don't remember if anyone was...
Well, then this conversation's irrelevant. Anyway. If you didn't meet the Spyro, you can't talk about it.
I got to meet a guy who voiced for Spyro one time.
Huh. Wait, which one was it?
Elijah Wood.
What? Wait, when did you meet him?
This weekend.
Huh.
Yeah, I met Elijah Wood and Sean Astin and Andy Serkis.
I thought that picture was just like people who dressed as them.
No, I met them for real.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, they played Frodo, Samwise, and Gollum, respectively.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Pollock once liked one of my tweets one time. We're basically together. Oh. There's the plaid. Sly, get my medicine. It's like, Bentley, I don't think that's going to fix your nasal stuff. Well, I can dream. Oh, my glasses. I don't remember if I had these the last time we recorded, but these glasses have been a bit of a... Not a huge pain, but it's kind of an annoyance.
Why?
Because,
Oh, because you got leopard print, that's why.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't choose it. But anyway,
why not?
These are temporary. Okay, I may love leopard print, probably men, but not sure. But anyway, so these are temporary because a few weeks ago, I didn't think, I forgot I had laid my glasses on my bed. Then I laid back on with my back, I laid on my glasses. So that was neat. Yeah, I laid back on my glasses. And so it caused, like, tanks to start looking at me and possibly start firing at me. But also, caused a little break in my, well, like, not the lenses, but like the frames, or like a piece of the frame, and so like it kept causing one of the lenses to come out. So that was neat. So these are kind of like temporary glasses. The problem is, because they couldn't fix the other frames with the eye doctor I go to, the problem is, these glasses were they're a little tight on my head. And while it doesn't seem like a huge deal, like over time as I wear them, it like whenever I pull them off, it feels like I'm like, whoop, instead of like a kind of a smoother, pull off. Well, not like they're stuck or anything, but
well,
like
why didn't you
a little
size
tight.
them up for yourself?
I wasn't there when I was. Our papa was the one who brought my glasses since I was busy that day.
Oh, my elbow really hard.
But I should have been there so that they could have got frames that would not squeeze my head.
Yep.
But I choose not to take any responsibility for that. And I 100% blame everyone else but me as an excuse to not, I don't know. Anyway. I don't know how. So, yeah. We haven't been here in a few weeks for reasons that are all Andrew's fault. No. I'm just looking around right now. I don't even remember whose turn it was. I'm just going. But we haven't been here in a little while because. We had things to do over the past few weekends. Or just busy in general. One of the weekends, one of the weeks, kind of, I went to Universal.
Universal.
Yeah, I went to Universal, or Orlando. Universal Orlando
Florida.
Resort.
Yeah, Florida.
Florida. And, so I went there, and me and my pals went there, and we had a good time, and,
I didn't go because I'm straight. And I wasn't there to go for a sausage fest.
Listen. Oh. There was not a ton, but there were quite a few stores that had, like, LGBT stuff in it.
Oh, there was some of that at Dragon Con.
Well, yeah,
it's...
It's really weird. It's really weird to look at. Whenever I went to Universal, I didn't think about, like, I don't think I've ever been to Orlando, or at least not stayed in Orlando. If I've been there before, I've never stayed there. It was really weird to go to the hotel and Universal, and, well, at least at the hotel, me and my friends felt like the minorities for being white Americans there. Like, it felt like we were a minority because a lot of the workers and a lot of people who stayed there were, like, if they were American, they were like anything but white, just about. And if they were white, they'd be like Russian or something, or just from some other country. And it was really strange because, like, I never thought about that with Orlando. Like, I know some places in the U.S. Well, some parts, you'll find situations like that, but it's just like, it felt really weird because I've never been in that situation before.
Oh, I have.
Well, I know you have. You've been to other countries, but I'm just saying, like, I've
also been in New York City, which is,
yeah,
almost in the parts I was in, it was white minority.
Yeah, like white American minority is, what I was saying.
It was still white minority.
Well, yeah, well, you know what I mean. Like in my situation, it was like white American minority. I mean, don't get me wrong. I saw plenty of white people that were probably American. I think that may have been one of the first times, or at least the first time in a long time, that I've been around actual British people.
Filthy Brits.
Like, or English or whatever. I mean, all the same, but, New Zealanders.
Yeah, basically New Zealanders, Australians, British, Portuguese, they're all the same.
Portuguese, Mexicans,
Mexicans, Brazilians, are basically the same.
Basically, all Mexicans are actually Australian, and,
Spanish-speaking people, Mexicans, they're all Mexican. They all speak Mexican.
That's the language they speak.
No, seriously, there are some people that think Mexican is a language.
Yeah. It's like how some people.
They were surprised.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that fact.
Anyway, let's see, Dragon Con.
Did a drug on?
Yeah, it was just pretty cool. Andy Serkis was pretty nice. Even Elijah Wood, Sean Astin were both nice dudes.
Huh.
I was just like...
And you walk away from them like, gosh, that guy's such a loser.
No, but I did tell Elijah Wood that I liked his work in Legend of Spyro if he even remembered doing it. And then I had to run away because they were getting mad I was taking too long, and I said that in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
They had a lot of people cycle through line, so I kind of let Southern pleasantries kick in, and it's like, yeah, this isn't efficient. It was still cool, though.
They're like, okay, get out of here.
Basically. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see somebody dressed like Mega Man EXE. I was like, yes, Battle Network's still getting some love.
I've never been to one of those conventions.
They're fun. I'm gonna try to get my hands on overalls and
oh no,
a shirt so I can be Luigi here soon for some
because you got a hat.
Because I got a hat.
You see the hat?
You see the hat? I am Luigi.
Yeah. I am Mrs. Nesbit. They did like that weird head shake thing because it was the early animation. Anyway,
yeah, there were a lot of Luigis. There was like
several hundred Marios.
There was like a huge group of Waluigis.
Of course.
There was also
supposed to be taking pictures.
There was also what was called the Cult of Jar Jar, and it was just a group of different looks of Jar Jar. Like Darth Jar Jar, Slutty Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I may or may not have joined the Cult of Jar Jar one night.
Oh.
Yeah,
how many sacrifices do you have to do?
Saturday night, I joined the Cult of Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And I have it on my badge to prove it.
So how many people have you had to slaughter as a sacrifice?
Well, that's just it. All of them. Yes, I joined the Cult of Jar Jar. Also, there was a woman that had a dress and some things to make her look like a Dalek. I never thought I could find a hot Dalek, but here we are.
Well, I remember seeing on that clip of like where it had like a, I don't know what game show it was, I don't remember, but like it was some British or something game show where like let's see, what was it? I think it was like Matt Smith and shoot, why can't I think of his name right now?
What?
The 10th Doctor. David Tennant. Because I know his name. It's just one of those moments. But anyway, so I remember it was like they like whenever someone would ask a question, or if they said no, or something. I don't know what the rules were, but they would like cause the contestants to fall through a hole or something, or what it looked like anyway.
Yep.
And at one point they had like so like at one point there's this woman who like had like a dressed up like a Dalek. Yeah. Who was having a time sitting down. As soon as she got sat down, the guy just pressed the button to make her fall.
Yep.
Any of our viewers which we don't really have that many, but any of our viewers who may know about that show, just let me know what that was, because that was just funny. The concept of it is, okay, well, if this happens, then we take a picture of a boat. No, we cause the contestants to fall. Boat at? I don't know. What else is there? Oh yeah, the blip. I'm too far away from it.
The blip.
Wait, maybe I should never mind. But anyway.
A blimp.
Anyway, so yeah, there was a. Okay, so back to Universal.
You're a freaking homo.
Like whenever we were there. It was just funny because we'd walk by these black people. They looked like they could just be American, which technically they could if they, or if they became citizens there. But you know what I mean? Like they were just like grew up in America, spoke the American accent, even though there's a ton of those.
Yeah, the American accent.
The American accent. And then like, all Americans look the same. No, anyway.
They're all basically the same thing.
Yes. All Americans are basically the same. Anyway, so we'd see those people, they'd walk by, and like we're thinking, okay, there's a lot of Americans, and then they'd walk by and they were just speaking a different language, and I was just like, okay, never mind. And it's just like, but yeah, I've never been around. I want to say never because I don't actually know for sure, or I don't remember for sure, but it seems like I've never been around an actual, in person, a British person, because I didn't think they existed, but here we are.
British people aren't real.
Yeah. And then alright, so we got on this bus from our hotel, and which I don't know if it was a hotel or a motel, because I had an inner part, it was open, and the doors were like located outside. Like they weren't. You didn't go into the hotel, and within the hotel you go in your room. It was outdoor. Like they were outdoor doors. It's just that it was in an inner area. You know, like you go in and like basically no roof. I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, whenever the first day we rode the bus, well, tram as I call it, tram gender. Well, the first time we rode it, there was a person, like we rode to Universal because they just took us from the hotel, so it saved us a lot on gas and parking. It took us to the hotel, and then, took us from the hotel to the place, and then like where they were parking and stuff, there was a British person that was just like, came up and was just like, "Does this bus go to SeaWorld?" And it was,
you're just tally ho, chop chop.
And they respected me for saying that. No.
Would you like to purchase a bibbidi bobbidi boo?
A wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Would you like to visit it? Would you like to purchase a flabbity knackety boo?
But it was just really weird. It felt so weird just because that was the first time I was like in person with a very diverse group of, that spoke. Then half of them spoke their native language,
Again,
and native accents.
Get on a plane and listen to two Norwegian dudes have a conversation where one is very passionate about what he's talking about. It gets really interesting. I listened to that for 2 hours straight one time.
For 2 hours?
2 hours. It was a whole 2 hours.
But yeah, anyway.
Wasn't nothing but a couple of hours.
But anyway, there was like, it was just strange, like to actually be in that, because for the first time being around,
What about horses in the distance?
Yeah. Or that one that walked by the car, or that one time when we were driving and like it was out on the road and it was just casually walking around the road.
And what did we hear?
Like it was a little pony or a little horse or whatever, and it was like it would walk by us at one point. It was like you could just hear that walking by. Like we were headed to school. I don't remember if it was a year where you were still in school, and like you were driving both of us, or if it was you were just taking me. And we were almost late because there was a horse in the road, and everyone had to slow down or stop because we had to like make sure that it was okay, or make sure it got out of the road, and and like it didn't even stop; it just kept going. It just walked around in random directions. But anyway, back to Universal. So we get there, Universal, and if you've seen my YouTube video on it, we were self-promoting on my own channel. What a crime.
Would have forgot I am.
Yeah. Anyway, so we, like, it doesn't have as many rides as somewhere like Dollywood or Six Flags. But it has way more, like, attractions in general. What?
6 bags.
What?
I had to do that.
Andrew's gonna wear a medal that says "I was canceled and I'm proud."
Actually, while I was at Dragon Con, I made a shirt that just said "Your face mask is useless" and wore it around one of the days.
How many people got mad at you?
I had some stares. I did it because the first day I just saw a lot of face masks. Probably 10%, maybe less than that. Maybe more like 7 or 8%.
It just seems like a lot because it was.
Yeah, so I just wore that shirt and I got some
some looks.
comments. It was really funny. Because I had to make it while I was there. I used a marker my buddy's wife had brought.
Yeah.
And, I made it work.
So head up to the re-education tower. He says it like that all the time.
Who are we educating? And what?
Well, apparently Carmelita, if you remember in this world, Carmelarja. So there was a part on SpongeBob while I'm just randomly thinking about it where like Sandy was like had like a was showing off like there was an episode like a TV show on the show where like in SpongeBob where Sandy was showing like how many nuts she could put in her mouth because squirrel, like how many acorns, and then like she like ate them all, and then like she's like now I have a nut ache instead of like a stomach ache or something. She's a nut ache.
What the heck?
And of course
there's a writer that knew what they were doing there.
Yeah, but also someone in the comments of like a YouTube clip of that, someone said, Sandy makes my nuts ache.
Dear Lord. I did not see as many furries this year, and it was great. Oh man. Now, I did do a thing where I would turn on my lightsaber every time one was nearby. Just be like they're near. Like the sword from Lord of the Rings that glows when orcs are near.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so at Universal, like I said, there wasn't as many rides as we were expecting. There were just a lot of attractions, attractiveness. No,
you're attractive.
That's offensive.
I mean, what?
I don't appreciate the lies, Andrew.
Right, you're an ugly piece of crap.
There you go. But yeah. Anyway, so so like. Knockout dive. But anyway, so there was the first ride we rode was like a Spider-Man ride, but it was one of those. It wasn't a roller coaster. Okay, let me put it this way: there were many rides there. They just weren't all like roller coaster types. There was a lot of like those quote unquote 4D rides, or I don't know if they still call them that, but those like I know there's a bottle down there. It's gonna bother the crap out of me unless I get it. Anyway, since I saw it, but anyway, so there's a part. So like the Spider-Man ride, I thought probably came out in the 2000s or like the late 2000s, maybe early 2010s. The graphics weren't the greatest. But I'm just like it's just supposed to be a ride. It looks good enough for the ride, and it was one of those 4D type things where it would like move you around, and like there was some movement in terms of like a roller coaster type thing, but like it's like they make you feel like you're part of the thing, and of course we all joked around after doing that. They're like, guys, you're all heroes, and then like me and Nathan and we're all like. Man, I feel like a hero now, just. But I've come to find out, like, I knew some parts of it looked like it was from an older. Like, I thought maybe that some parts of it were like from like an older version of the ride, but apparently the ride in general, the whole thing, came out in 1999. I was like, okay, it's more impressive now for 1999.